The Easy Sports Talk Show with Ed Smith and Javon Adams. We do this thing 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tell a friend to tell a friend about what we have going on here. That is Ed Smith. He played professional baseball. Also, he played in the National Football League. He is an author. He is a motivational speaker. My name is Javon Adams, and I do a little bit of everything. Try to got my finger in a lot of different things. I was going to say something else, but this is, you know what I was going to say. But so what is good, my brother?
You nasty. Hey, we made it to a Friday, man. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on, but good week, man.
Indeed. So some of this stuff is gonna be a little off the cuff today. I know you can handle it, especially as we are here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. So a lot of things that we do on the podcast, we focus on things with going on locally, because that's an opportunity to do that, especially going back to our roots locally in terms of radio. We also have a Saturday radio show that is national. That's on SportsMap Radio. Go to sportsmapradio.com. You can download the app for Android or Apple and take us in your pocket, or if you're in one of the markets that we are on, 1 to 3 Eastern. So, make the different allocations there. But anyway, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have sometimes more of a local focus. So today I'm going to the Arizona Cardinals' first preseason game. They're going to be playing the Denver Broncos. And on our Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast yesterday, we talked a little bit about this. So if you haven't, we'll touch on some of this, but if you want to get the full impact, go search Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, wherever you find your podcast. But yesterday there was an announcement by Colt McCoy. I'm sure you came across this, where starters are going to play. Now, we don't know how long they're going to play, but they're going to play a little bit. What if you were coaching, if you were Jonathan Gannon and you were coming into this is your first opportunity as a head coach? How long would you play your starters? Would you play your starters? Because coaches have different philosophies when it comes to this. So what would your philosophy be if you were coaching this team? You're trying to find out what you have, because we know that the cupboards are pretty much bare for the most part, with some really cool ingredients, but for the most part, they're bare.
You have 2 sons, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever ask them to take out the trash and they turn and give you one of them looks like, right?
Yes.
And what do you say to them? You better take that trash out and shut your daggone mouth. That's the same thing with preseason. You're a head coach coming in.
Okay.
You got a brand new, you're taking over this mess that was left behind.
Right.
And, we got to evaluate. We're not going to be a good team, at least we know that internally. We're not going to be upper echelon, but we're working. We're trying to create a culture here. And I'm telling you to go out and get a little work in. And anybody, like I said, I just asked you to take the trash out, and you want to turn and look at me like, and I'm paying all the bills up in here. I'm frying all the food. I've got the lights on. You got cable. You got phones. You got all this stuff. So take the trash out. Don't give me no lip. You better not say a word. Just do what I just told you to do. That's exactly what Gannon pretty much is. Hey, we're going to play, and you're going to play till I tell you not to play. I'm not going to abuse anybody, because I'm not trying to get anybody hurt, but we're trying to evaluate. We're trying to set a culture here. Go out, give me your best, do what you are supposed to get paid to do, and shut your mouth. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it or anything like that, but golly, man, there was a time when, years ago, guys went out and played a whole quarter in a preseason game. You got to remember, they only have 3 now. So it's even tougher.
And it wasn't that long ago. It was about 3 years ago. Let's say about 3 years ago, where there was still that third preseason game out of the 4 at that time. That third preseason game was the dress rehearsal.
Bro, it wasn't that many. It was a couple of decades ago that I played in the league. Okay, I know I'm aging myself. Okay. But you tell me on Thursday, we're playing on a Friday night, and I get the call. We see the depth chart, and I'm starting tomorrow. Yeah. Me, I'm on top. Hey, man, I'm going to bed extra study tonight.
Right.
So, I mean, this is, I know we're at a different time where starters, they turn their nose up at, you want me to play in a preseason game? Nah, dog, we're not at that stage here where we can be dictating anything. It's all hands on deck. It's every man get out there, show me what you got. and shut your mouth and take the trash out. That's what I think.
And it's not to say that Colt McCoy seems as though he's looking forward to it. That you always, for the most part, because there are some of those folks that tell you exactly what they're thinking, but for the most part, the things that are coming out of this of training camp is that they're positive things in terms of the culture and the way that things are going. But couple things that I want, you're just curious, just to kind of touch on Isaiah Simmons. Are you going to be looking for him as you fast forward to certain plays in the game until the starters are out? Are you going to be looking to see how he equates, how he seems to fit in being moved to safety now? Are you going to be looking for that?
I think he's probably really feeling much better about his place with this organization. Obviously, they didn't pick up the 5th year, but he's probably going to have less on his plate. Yeah. And when you have less on the plate, it's easier to kind of eat everything up and absorb it. Right. And you're not out there thinking as much. He'll be able to go out there, play the safety position, fly around, and do his thing, and with less, thought process. And I'm sure they're looking at him saying, hey, Isaiah, go out there once you fly around. We're not going to have you all over the place where you got to know 5 different positions. Just go out there and play the one that you know, and show us what you got. And I think for him, and we talked about this yesterday on the podcast, for him, this is a make it or break it year in a couple of different ways. Because they didn't pick up that 5th year option, he now has the ability after this season. If he impresses, the Cards are going to be like, hey, we want you here as part of our future, man. We said, and he now, because they didn't give him that 5th year option, he can say, okay, well, we'll see I'll get back to you. We'll see if there are any other offers, because as I've told you before, there were other organizations who shined on him. They loved him coming out of the draft. Were sad that they didn't get him. We misused him for 3 years. It might be time for him to move on to a bigger and better place. But he has the option now, because they didn't sign him to that, pick him up on that 5th year. So he's got a lot of things to prove, and his career might take off, or if he doesn't play well, it might go down, descend. So this is a big year for him.
When we were talking again on Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, that's BLEAV, in the Arizona Cardinals, talked about some of the things, the goals of Jonathan Gannon coming into this first preseason game. And so without rehashing all those, because you can go to the podcast to check that out, I want to talk about one thing and get your thoughts on it. One of the things that he mentioned is that compete. He wants to see what his expectation or his goals, or one of the things that he's going to be looking for today is every player competing. What does that mean to you from when you hear that?
That means go out there and I want to see guys flying around. Now, we use the term a lot, flying around. We practiced against our own. This is time now to go out, and we're going to be not measuring against. It's almost like we're not measuring against each other now, because we know we can't hit each other out here when we're in the same color. We're not trying to hurt each other. We're not trying to tackle. We're not trying to get after the quarterback. All these things we can't do now. This is a team coming in. I can't remember, were we on the road or at home? Is it in Denver?
Oh, no, it's here.
It's here. Okay. So this is we're okay. Yeah, that's right. You are going to be there. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. But now we got another team. I think they're going to be wearing orange or whatever it is, white or orange, whatever. It's going to be a different color. This means, I want to see you guys sized up against the opponent now. We're taking all the things that we couldn't do. Now we can go do them. Be aggressive. Go out there. I want to see guys fight, against, whatever position battles. Who's going to show me that they're our number one on the depth chart? Who is going to be able to go out there and compete? Like, we got rookies. This is going to be their first time at this speed. And, we're going to have a lot of second teamers and stuff like that out there. But I guarantee you there's going to be some young guys out there like coming to the sideline the first time. I had no idea it was that fast and that physical out there. And I remember my first experience, man. I hadn't played football in a decade, went to the World League, and I was like, wow. And then I got back here to the NFL training camp, and I was like, wow. And I got to my first preseason game. I was like, wow. And then
Yeah,
I got to my first regular season game. So as I'm telling you, it clips up every level,
right.
So hey, there's going to be some dudes, the heads are going to be swimming. And what they also want to see is you're not going to know every assignment. You're going to blow some things, but I don't want you out there thinking, I want you going hard.
Right.
I want to see you guys getting out there and getting after it. I've seen players who in the middle of a play, you can almost tell it's like, oh, they're thinking, and it's like, oh, messed up there. No,
Yeah.
this ain't no time to be. It's like you're out there on stage for a play and you
Yeah.
forget your line. Hey, you don't stop. You just, if you got to make it up or look over and, you this ain't stopping. And hey, just keep going. I
Yeah.
need you, so that's when they come, they're talking about competing. They want to see these guys out there flying around. There's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad, there's going to be some ugly, but they want an opportunity to evaluate every player that's on the fringe of this roster. They obviously know there are certain guys that, we just want to get out of this one healthy. But
Mhm.
for the majority of these guys, they want them out there and they want to see what they got today.
So we've been of course talking about the players, but I think this is something to 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 discuss as well. The coaches. So Jonathan Gannon, this is his first coaching opportunity. Uh, so on the offensive and defensive, the offensive defensive coordinators, so many coaches on this staff. This is their first opportunity in their position, the first time. What are you looking for? What would your expectation be for the first game or two with this coaching staff? Because again, I would imagine this is the same way that it's, wow, I didn't know that training camp was going to be this way, and then
Yeah.
you try to have that stern face in public, and then in closed doors, you might be sweating and wondering, did you do everything right? I wonder what are your expectations for this coaching staff that you want to see that maybe gives you confidence that they'll be able to lead this group of men.
That's a great question because it is, just like for the players, this is coaches, they're going to be out there getting guys in, getting guys out, reviewing stuff on the sideline. Now they have the tablets instead of the films that they send down. But this is your dress rehearsal as well, because in a few weeks we're going to be doing this live where the games count. You got to get the players off the field, coach them up real quick. Notice, you got to check and see, he wasn't in his right position on this call. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be doing that. You're coaching these guys up during the game. You're getting the signals in. There's all type of things that you got guys on the headphones relaying things down. This is a whole process. So this is guys' first time. And most of them have done it. At a different, from a different level. They've been the guy next to the guy.
Yeah.
So it's not like, they've never seen it before. Now they're going to be in the hot seat, in the number one seat. So you want these guys, and this thing, just like the players are going to make mistakes, Jay, so are the coaches. And that's what Gannon will be evaluating. He has his side of the ball, but he's going to be watching that defense as well. The whole process, getting guys exit, getting guys out, also making decisions. Your coordinators is 4th and 1. What are we doing? You got to relay it down. We got to get it in. So it's going to be, and a lot of it is trial and error. So just as the players are being evaluated, so are the coaches. And that is a great point that you bring up.
And along those lines, it makes me think of the way in which you coach your coaches, the way in which you coach them up, because this is your first time being in that position as well. So Gannon has to realize that he's going to make some mistakes along the way. And how do you hold yourself accountable? And in what way? Do you do it publicly? Do you just try to gloss over things? How do you coach them up in that way? And so what I mean by that is some people are yellers, right? And I think, because I'm a person that if you start yelling at me, I'll look at you, but I've already turned myself off. I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm not really getting probably what you're trying to hoping to impart to me, right? And I think I wonder, you understanding the room and all of those things that come with being as you often say, when it comes to the football coach, he's the CEO of the team, right? So how do you go about, because a lot of these folks, it's their first time. So how do you keep them engaged? How do you coach them up? How are you setting the standard and being hard on them, but not losing them as well?
if you've ever been in a position where somebody's asked you to grade yourself, you know,
Yeah.
we
And
are always.
some of those self-evaluations, some folks are completely off base when
Oh
they,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
my goodness
That's what
gracious.
I
But
was
go
bringing
ahead. I
up.
got you.
We
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
yeah, we are. Hey, I think I did a great job. Yeah.
I think I'm
How?
exceeding.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I want you to be honest. Okay, we got a sheet here. I want you to be honest, and we're not going to look at this. I just want you. This is for your evaluation. So you have the sheet in front of you. Okay. So I want you to grade yourself on this past exercise. Everybody's
Yes.
giving themselves A pluses. Hey, I think I did a great job. So we are not. We tend to lean in that direction, evaluating ourselves.
Yeah.
The great leaders, they always have that right hand man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they look to, that they want total honesty from.
Right.
They might be,
Yeah.
you got your GM, you got your assistant GM, right? So your assistant GM is your right hand. So in those moments when you want real evaluation, and here's where you got to allow your assistant GM, you got to let them know you're not. I don't want you to be afraid of me here. I need truth and honesty, because we're going to get better as I get better. I
I
need the
forgot about Awesome
evaluation.
for it. Yeah, because this is his
Yeah,
first go around too. Yeah, so good
yeah.
point.
So what you do, the good ones, is like, hey, okay, we did it. Let's get in this room and let's do a true evaluation. And I want my dogs, all my dogs, let me know, because we're only going to get better if you let me know where I came out. So if we have a good leader in Gannon and Awesome Fort, they're going to have those meetings, those real meetings, and you can't go too far down the chain of command. You don't go to the quality control guy. Hey, yeah, you
What you
gotta,
think? What you
yeah,
think?
what you think? Yeah, you gotta have somebody in the room with you at your somewhere near your level. And that those are the coaches that get better. And then once you get good at it, then now I know what I'm doing. But those early days, you need those real critiques. And I'm sure we'll see. We were not going to be in the room, but hopefully we have one of those dudes that's real about the evaluation, not patting himself, breaking his arm, patting himself on the back. He'll get that real and then continue to try to build on that. And that's what the offseason or the preseason is for Gannon. Awesome Force already done his job, for the most part. He's gotten the free agency, he's done the draft. Now his job is scouring, and I mean scouring other teams and watching the preseason throughout. So when those waiver wires hits, we got to go find those diamonds that were tossed out on by mistake. So his job is not done, but he's done the brunt of it to this point. So, but everybody, it's all new for everybody, and if we're keeping it real, we'll it's going to be a process. Yeah, and everybody's going to be you got it. Don't be self-evaluating out there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Before we get out of here, leave me with this. One of the things, some of the leaks, information about the NBA with some of the scheduling has started to come out, and with the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are going to be playing, I believe it's the first game of the season. They're going to play the Warriors, and it's interesting to me the being able to see how Chris Paul is going to fit in with the Warriors. Just your thoughts on for all those who are listening who are new. Ed doesn't like the NBA season, and he does the regular season, and he doesn't like
it's long.
the MLB regular season. He hates what he calls a long regular season. I think it's a great. Before we get to the season finale, we got to understand what's going on during the season, right? I mean, come on now. But are you intrigued, or what level of intrigue do you have for this upcoming Phoenix Suns season?
I will peek at, because it's a new, we got a lot of new in here. Last year we had a new owner come. They've had their first off season. We've got new additions with with CP3 gone and getting
Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm. So because it's new, I'll take a peek early. But you're not gonna get me.
So you're gonna be there for at least the regular season opener to see that with the Warriors, right? You gonna peek at that? You gonna come on, man?
ESPN does highlights, right?
Oh my god!
I don't know. I'll check it out. I might even sit down with you and have a beer. We might even do it together. So I'll mark my word. I'll watch a little bit early, but you're not gonna get me all the way through 82. I'll peek in every now and then. I'm like the assistant principal, just want to make sure everything's all right in there. I'll open the door every day. Hey, everything okay here? Okay. I'll be back in a little bit. So by the time we get to April, I'll come in and sit down and watch the final product. But yeah, now you know me, man. I just like I said, for me, 82 is a long, long walk. Just like 162 is a long walk. But I'll be there for the beginning, and I'll be very interested. And that'll be a matchup that I'll definitely want to take a peek at because both of these teams will have aspirations of winning championship. And the other thing with CP3, he's gonna want to get a little get back coming back in here.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I'll watch it. I'll watch.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to convert you. But that is Ed Smith. I am Javon Adams. We do this thing again 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then also, if you are chilling, you're doing chores, you're ripping and running on Saturdays from 1 to 3 Eastern. We have the Easy Sports Talk show that's on Sports Map Radio. You can go to sportsmapradio.com and sportsmapradio.com, and you can download the app. And take us in your pocket, or you can listen live, all those good things. And also check out Believe in the Arizona Cardinals. That is our Arizona Cardinals podcast that we do, of course, talking about the Arizona Cardinals. So that's BLEAV in the Arizona Cardinals. So aside from that, as we always like to say around this time, you can